Most of the energy bills sponsored by Republican State Senator Steve Fitzpatrick of Great Falls have one aim: to help the state's largest utility, Northwestern Energy, acquire more power from the two remaining Colstrip power plants in southeast Montana.
With all this stuff that's going around out in Washington and Oregon, I just am worried that they're eventually going to be able to shut down that plant and destroy that asset.
He's talking about out-of-state electric utilities that own about 2/3 of Colstrip 3 and 4 and who want to abandon coal power by the end of this decade. Among other things, his bills would give the state attorney general power to accuse these owners of deceptive practices and ask for fines if they take action that could lead to early closure of Colstrip. But the most significant of his bills is Senate Bill 379. It guarantees a specific return for Northwestern from its Montana customers if the utility buys a bigger share of Colstrip power, which it wants to do. Former State Public Service Commissioner Tom Schneider says there's a reason why Northwestern wants to keep Colstrip running for as long as possible.
Because they've got this windfall existing rate treatment of that plant. They do not want that plant to go down anytime, anyway, because they've got a cash cow.
Schneider and other critics of the bill also say that renewable power like wind or solar is now generally cheaper than coal-fired power and should be the emphasis in future power development. But Republican lawmakers this session also are advancing bills that de-emphasize renewables or, in some cases, undercut their development. Their argument, and Northwestern's, is that Montana has enough renewables already and needs more of a steadier, reliable power source like coal. David Schlissel of the Institute on Energy Economics and Financial Analysis says that's no longer a legitimate argument against renewables.
That argument wasn't true 15 years ago and certainly isn't true today. The transition's happening. It's no longer the future. It's the present.
When asked if additional Colstrip power for Montana would be relatively cheaper, Northwestern spokesman David Hoffman says it would be competitive, but couldn't say precisely what the price would be compared to renewables. However, Hoffman says he thinks a majority of lawmakers believe it's better for Montana to put more of Colstrip into Montana hands and keep the plants operating well into the future.
There's I think a recognition by legislators that there's a value to Colstrip into the future. Nobody perhaps can agree upon what that future date is, but we firmly believe it's beyond the Washington state and West Coast owners, regulators, and politicians who say it's 2025.
The question now is, will these bills actually pass and become law, charting a more coal-fired course of energy consumption in Montana? We'll find out in the next few weeks. In Helena, Mike Dennison, MTN News.